Gilbert Bates, the inventor of the steam engine, the man behind the massive technological improvement of the human race. And we're just outside his apartment. Well, his estate. I seem to have a bit of a croak in my voice as well, so I do apologize for that. Anyway, we have his ring. And we need to have an audience with him. But, of course, it's easier said than done. We could just break in. I don't think that's going to work. But let's have a chat. It is a good day. Well, I guess? I mean, it's kind of average for me, honestly. A package I'm waiting for hasn't arrived yet. That's something. But at least I had a good cup of tea earlier. It was really nice. And whose house might this be? Gilbert Bates, the industrialist, lives here. I need to get an audience from Mr. Bates. That's not possible. Mr. Bates sees no one, especially now with the recent attempt on his life. I have a ring that used to belong to Mr. Bates. You and every other assassin or lunatic who comes around here, move along. How can I get to see him then? Attempt on his life? Mr. Bates was attacked in his study by some fanatic. St. Degas Chucker was there to snap the intruder's neck before he could do any harm. Is there some way I could see him? Well, we've been having some problems with saboteurs at the factory. If you could take care of them, I'm sure Mr. Bates would want to thank you personally. You piqued my interest. What else can you tell me? Not much, really. Usually strike in the middle of the night. Some time after midnight. We lost several guards and we sent there to stop them. I'll take care of them. Good luck. The factory's located at the tail end of the Ten's Hand Alley. I don't know. That doesn't roll off the tongue. Plus, it's hard to see this because of the damn railings. Ten Hands Alley. Here's the key. The guards will be expecting you. Miraculously. Come back here when you've dispatched them and I'll let you see Mr. Bates. Time to visit the factory then. I'm medium encumbered. Yeah, that's fine. I still got this, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Whoa, this has frost resistance? Or was it fire resistance? It's fire resistance, yeah. Minus 15. Who would have guessed some fabric would be extremely flammable? This isn't it, but I'm gonna go here anyway. It's not actually loud in here for a change. Hello, Mr. Foreman. We got goggled helmet. Do you want this? Nope. Do you want this? Nope. Do you want this? Nope. Do you want anything I have? Nope. I'm gonna take this. Alright. So here's the factory we're looking for, and here's the guard. But before we do that, I just want to go down here. You see this guy around here? I haven't got a fate point to use, but he does have a key. Warehouse of the Small. I need to get in there because there's a schematic I want. But I haven't got a fate point and I don't want to risk it without it, so we'll leave it alone for now. Alright. Yes? Is there a problem? What's this place? Okay. This is the Bates engine factory. What may I do for you? I'm here to help with your saboteur problem. Go on in then. Just like that, huh? Alright, what's going on here? What the heck is going on here? You know, that reminds me. For some reason. I don't know why. I haven't actually updated their points yet. Oops. Well, in terms of stock, I'm not very sure what I can give him, honestly. Well, okay. Well, his melee's maxed out now, which is great. Good for you, Stog. Jane. How is Gina one level higher than Stog when I got Stog early? Well, okay. Dog. Dog is still an apprentice. He's put an extra point in strength, bless him. Magnus, what can we do for you? I think an extra point in strength would go a long way with you. Yep. Bollinger. Or point to perception, I think. Gonna need to put some more strength in his side of things as well. Interesting. I think there's a rat or something. There's something in there which is causing them to aggro. No idea what, but it doesn't matter. Just need to have a chat with any old guard now. Oh, excuse me, sir. Yes, what is it? I am here to help you stop the saboteurs. Good, we got the front rooms covered. You take the factory floor back there. If I need to know anything I should know to help me, just be alert. We have no idea how they're getting inside. One might almost think they're using magic, but they will be either extremely foolish or possessed an extremely intestinal fortitude. Why'd say that? There's quite a bit of machinery in there, and attempting to use magic to get inside, they could end up inside a wall or some such nonsense. At any rate, the factory floor is all yours. If you encounter the saboteurs and can't take care of yourself, try to lead them out here and we'll help you with them. Will do? Don't think it'll really be an issue, but it's fine. So how with the factory? Right now, nothing we really can do. Except to admire the place, of course. There's a few things to loot. And the guards do not seem to really care for it. What is interesting though is that this steam engine is clearly broken. And this one must be a result from the saboteur, I don't know, but it's still really interesting. Anyway, so around midnight, this should be fun. Let me just wait until... I will say this, the trigger for them appearing is a bit of a pain. What time is it? It's about nearly 8 o'clock, so 4 hours? Now another hour. Yep, there we go. Whew. And there we go.
Sure, I'll do it right away.
And that is the saboteurs taken care of. So they were getting in here through magic. Saints, thank you for helping us kill those cretins, even though you did all the work by yourself. We're still taking credit for it. Anyway, back to the Bates mansion. I like Bates. I don't... He's quite the industrialist, and he has a very interesting view on his workers, but I don't dislike him. I should, but I don't. It's quite interesting. Maybe because I can relate to him in some regard. Not myself personally, but my character's situation. I can relate to him. We're both in a very similar boat. It's quite interesting in that regard. Anyway. Always an honor. I have removed the saboteurs that have been plaguing you. Thank the gods. I thought we would never be rid of them. Please go inside. Mr. Bates will be anxious to meet you. Many thanks. And yes, you could go kill him, but his guards are quite strong, so I would not mess with them. This house is busy, and there's actually quite a lot of stuff in here we can get. Oh shit, he's got a pool table! I am jealous. I guess that's his room. This is his study. And this gentleman here must be Gilbert Bates. Hence the name.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Gilbert Bates, as I'm sure you have surmised. I'd like to extend my thanks to you, sir, for putting an end to the difficulties at my factory. I've been informed that there is a matter you wish to discuss.
Quite so. I'd like to ask you about this ring.
Great gods! How did you come by that ring?
A gnome gave it to me as he lay dying.
A gnome? What manner of tomfoolery is this?
Tomfoolery.
Are you certain it was not a dwarf?
Of course. I've never seen a skinny, beardless dwarf.
Yes, I am familiar with the dwarves and their customs. Tell me, was there anything distinctive about this fellow?
I didn't notice the scar, but he had the scar of his left eye.
By Alberic, I knew it in my heart. That was no gnome. It was Stennar Rockcutter.
I suppose it could have been a sick dwarf, but his beard...
Yes, I know. It is madness, but... Please, tell me, did he say anything to you before he died? Did he say anything about me?
He said he had escaped to warn us about the evil.
The evil? What evil? And where did he escape from?
He didn't say. I was hoping you would know what it meant.
Something horrible must have happened after I... Did he say anything else?
He referred to you as a boy. Why would he do that?
I do not know. Even though dwarves reckon time differently than humans, he must have realized that I am now an old man. Perhaps it is because I was but a boy when I betrayed his trust all those years ago.
Story time. How did you come to betray him?
That is quite the long tale. A tale of my shame, it is.
I'm sure it is, but your guards are really clanging in the background. I'm listening.
It is ironic that my greatest mistake is that which brought me such wealth. As a youth, I was enamored of all things dwarven, so I sought out the nearest clan and attempted to impress them with my grasp of their technology. They laughed. It was obviously a novelty to them, a ridiculous human who had a natural bent towards technology. I suppose it didn't help that I was a mere 14 years old at the time. I became something they humored to entertain themselves. Stennar was the only one who truly called me friend in all those years, and betrayal is how I repaid his friendship. It was he who first showed me their steam engine, as he knew I could appreciate the beautiful intricacies of its design. They had left it to rust in a corner, as they had very little use for a device that would reduce the need for sheer physical power. Imagine a dwarf relying on a device to do his digging for him. It's preposterous. I asked him if I could tinker with it, perhaps improve on it, as I knew this was the key to becoming truly a part of the dwarven world. I quickly devised a way to use it to power a pump for draining the mines. When I fell all over myself trying to explain it to them, laughter was, once again, their only response. I knew I had to somehow gain their respect, so I hastily sketched some schematics and set out to prove my theory. The struggling human mining company that I brought the plans to offered me a share in their mines for the steam pump. I was ecstatic. I had not a care for their mines or their money. I desired vindication.
Makes sense.
When I returned to the dwarves to boast of my accomplishments and be welcomed into their clan, They were gone. The inventions came quickly after that, fueled by my anger and confusion. How could they have denied me my place amongst them after all my labors? Somehow I felt I could still prove myself to them. I continued searching for them in all my spare moments, but to no avail. But then they came. The robed ones. They appeared to me late one night, and they warned me to never speak of, nor try to find the dwarves again. Still being a mere lad, you can imagine the terror that put into me. As my wealth and power grew, I shook off some of my youthful fear, and hired the first in a long chain of investigators to locate Stenar and his clan. None of them ever returned with any worthwhile information, and some never returned at all. The ones that did told of vicious traps and creatures attacking them from the shadows. As word of these failures spread, it became more and more difficult to find souls brave enough to take on the challenge.
But why did you send me here with your ring?
He knew that ring would lend veracity to your tale.
True.
I gave Stenar that ring the last time I saw him. Now he is dead. If only we knew what he meant by the evil.
I met a Panari acolyte who thought it had some religious meaning.
I don't put much stock in religious ramblings myself. But if you feel it could help you to get more information on the Panari, you should go to their temple on the northern end of Lion's Head Circle. I'm more concerned with who killed Stenar and why, and what all this has to do with my relationship with the Black Mountain clan.
So what is to be done now?
There must be some clue left in the Black Mountain mines. I am certain of this. You seem to be a resourceful individual. Would you be interested in searching the mines for some clue as to their whereabouts? I would make it worth your while, I can assure you.
I'd like to ask you some further questions before I commit myself.
Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
You didn't actually invent the steam engine?
I have never actually claimed that I did. It was just people's assumption. I have invented any number of devices based off its principles, but I did not invent the first one.
Fair. What do you think would happen when you sold the engine?
Such is the enthusiasm, or perhaps the impetuousness of youth, that I did not stop to consider the consequences of my actions.
Oh shit, I left it open.
All I could see was a way to gain the respect of the dwarves. It was all that mattered.
It must be unsettling to get so much praise for the steam engine.
Yes, it is, and it torments me every day. I was but a child when the robed ones gave me their dire warnings, and I was terrified. They were explicit that I was not to reveal the origins of the steam engine.
May I ask you some other questions?
Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
Why the need to impress the dwarves that they rejected you?
You don't understand. I was orphaned at a young age. The dwarves represented everything I wanted my family to be. A tight-knit clan, and the respect I had for their brilliance with technology. I made the mistake common to youth. I thought intelligence equaled compassion. I needed to belong, to find that I had some worth.
Excuse me a moment. Seriously, the one time I don't close the forums or the Reddits, the one time it starts sparking notifications at me. Typical.
You have returned. Tell me, what news?
I tried to search the Black Mountain mines for you.
Splendid. Here, let me mark your map with the location of the Black Mountain mines. I am certain there must be some clues to be found there. Please, return as soon as you have found anything.
May I ask you some questions before I leave?
Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
Alright.
You don't understand.
You orphan? What happened?
My mother died, bringing me into this world. I believe my father died then as well, even though he continued to exist in the world for some 8 more years. When he could stand living no longer, he took his own life.
But abandoning you like that...
He left me decently provided for, and with his grasp on reality becoming more tenuous each day, I believe he felt I would be safer in the care of others. The last thing he did in this life was to give me that ring.
And then you gave it to Stenner.
That is how much his friendship meant to me. I was devastated when he disappeared with the rest of the clan. I believe I felt more deserted and alone then than I did when my father killed himself. Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
What can you tell me about the recent attempts on your life?
There's not much, really, as Chukka is given to overzealousness in his protection of my person. He rendered the interloper lifeless before I could question him. All he had on his person was an amulet bearing the symbol of the Molokian hand, the eye in the hexagram.
Oh, how fitting. The Molokian hand?
They were a religious order of assassins some 500 years ago. Rumors of their continued existence surface periodically, but are usually proven to be hoaxes. I figure this for a new group trying to adopt some of the prestige of the name.
They seem to be after me as well.
Let us hope for both our sakes that they are mere pretenders to the name, then. I would be loath to have the authentic Molokians out for my blood.
At least they were kind enough to pretty much furnish my whole set of equipment, but whatever. Why do you suppose they tried to kill us?
I do not know, but I am beginning to believe they are behind Stenner's death. This all seems to be pointing to my involvement with the Black Mountain clan, doesn't it? That is why I feel it is imperative to find out their fate. Our lives seem to be dependent on it, in fact. Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
Can you tell me about your business?
Well, as you know, I am the foremost manufacturer of steam engines in Arcanum, virtually without competition. I am working on a prototype for a smaller, more efficient engine right now, as a matter of fact. I also have various interests in other technological endeavors.
How do you devastate your competition so?
It is not much of an accomplishment when old Cedric Appleby is your chief competitor. Poor Cedric. Always was a bit of a blundering fool. I really wish I could have convinced him to come work for me.
Why? I mean, if he's such an idiot.
Cedric and I were close friends when we were children. He was furious that I wouldn't introduce him to the dwarves. Can you imagine? I had a difficult enough time gaining their respect without his simple-mindedness. After I invented the steam engine, he began to despise me. Strangely enough, I wish he was still my friend some days.
I must go. I should go. Well. An interesting thread to follow. The Black Mountain Clan. It is not a fun area, I will say. It is quite brutal in a lot of ways. Not so much the monsters there, but it's more because of the traps. They don't do a lot of damage, particularly for us right now, but there's a lot of them. And I will say, it's also quite a long dungeon as well. There's just a lot to it, and it's a bit crazy. So this is probably one of the few times, no, I think there's another time we do use a magic item. I'm pretty sure I'll find one there anyway, but just in case, I'm gonna sell these because why not? Wow, bit of cash. I'm gonna buy some of these, but also, seriously, he doesn't have it this time? The one time I want it, he doesn't have it? God damn it. I'm 90% sure that we'll find one in the Black Mountain Mines, but it's still a bit annoying. We're after a scroll of exiting. It just takes you to the, it just takes you outside from an interior place. Very handy for deep dungeons like the Black Mountain Clan. Ooh. I already know the fuel schematic. Of course I do. I'll just go sell that quickly. So, yeah. We're pretty much all set to go for the Black Mountain Clan, but make sure, if you're going through it yourself, make sure you're properly equipped, because, like I said, it is a brutal area. We're not going to be able to fit it in this episode, but definitely in the next one. It is quite a trek, I assure you. Instant trading. Sure. And now I'm just modelling over encumbered. Nice.
How can I help you?
You are Magnus. Got some bees. How many bullets do you have? 170. That should do it. I am gonna have to go and farm some more healing cells at some point. 3, 4. Yeah, just enough. Alright. So, before we wrap up this episode, I just want to... Oh, I want to get to the Black Mountain Clan, because it is a bit of a trek. And of course, I'm no doubt going to get bears and bandits and God knows whatever else on the way. God, it's always bears. Why is it always bears? It's unbearable. Fuck. Why am I so lame? Alright, Tarant to the Black Mountain Clan. The abandoned home of the Black Mountain Clan. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Are you serious right now? No bears, no attacks. Oh, well. Fuck. Right, well, I have no words. I don't know either, doggo. I do not know either. Well, okay then. I will see you in the next one. Toodles!